All right, so next up to install, we have the Dinantronics Sport Performance Tuner. So from what I've read, it's pretty much a boost controller. It has a couple different modes: Valet, Sport, Sport Plus, and Race. It also has, stock. Also, you control it by the app, by Bluetooth. So each mode obviously adds more boost, and the Valet takes away boost. So I'm gonna go ahead and install this. I am gonna make this a DIY because I don't see any videos on installing this. The instructions they give, it's not on one of these cars. It's not on an M340 because this same module, it works on the B46, B48, and the B58 and the 340, but I haven't seen it done on the B58 TU, which is in this car. So I'm gonna go ahead and follow their instructions. Shouldn't be too hard because it's pretty much all the same plugs and sensors that it's plugging into. And I'm gonna go ahead and connect by Bluetooth because there's an app for it. I've seen the app isn't the greatest, but you know, as long as I can change the modes, that's all I care about. So let's see how this goes. So first step, remove the engine cover. Pretty easy. On the other cars, it was actually pretty hard, but not on this car. So next, you're gonna want to find the pressure sensor that's on the intake charge pipe, and it's a 3-pin one because there's 2 on here. Because there's one here and one here. These are, I don't know if you can see, but these are on the same part. But this is a 2-pin. You want the 3-pin right here, and then on the harness, there's 2 sides. So this is the 3-pin side. This is the 4-pin, so you're obviously not using this. So this is pretty much gonna jump this one. So you're gonna unplug this, plug it in here, and then plug this one in there. Okay, so be very gentle with this one. I'm gonna go ahead and put it back on just to show you how it came off. All right, so I might regret this. All right, so it's just like all the other ones, but for some reason this one was much harder. So this slides back. When you're sliding it back, it's being stopped. It's being stopped by this. So I use this and lift very gently to get it back. So I can't do this with one hand. So I'm gonna lift that part real quick. All right, so I took this tool, gently lifted this while pulling back on this so it slides backwards. After it slides backwards, you can press and it should be able to come off, but see how it's giving issues now to come off because no matter how hard I'm pressing on this, it's not lifting this back part up enough to come off. So then I took this tool and went behind it. Let me see. I went behind it and kind of assisted lifting it. So let me see if I can get the camera to see back there. No, I can't. But you'll be able to see back there. When you put your head back here, you'll be able to look down there and see the black clip that you need to lift up a little bit to help it come off. So I use something like this just to barely lift it up. So now that it's off, you can see as you press down, I don't know if you can see that black piece lift up. That's what you need to lift up a little bit more to get over that little part. So once you do that, you're gonna jump it. So obviously this plugs into this and this plugs into that. All right, so after those are plugged in, you're gonna wanna find the intake manifold pressure sensor, which is right in the center, right here, in between the intake manifold and the engine. So, well, valve cover, whatever. So that has a 4-pin connector. So this is 4-pin. So like on the other cars, in the instructions it says it has like a red shrink wrap on it. This car obviously doesn't have any red shrink wrap anywhere except for the battery terminals. So it's different. So yeah, M340, there's no red anything near it. It's just right in the center, right here. So you're gonna go ahead and disconnect that, and same thing, jump it with this. And also it uses the same style connector. And I noticed, sorry, gotta find this camera. I noticed the connectors that use this clear plastic, very brittle plastic part, those are the harder ones to disconnect, because like other ones use plastic. Like this is just regular plastic. Let me give you a better example. All right, yeah, so this clear plastic is very brittle and it's harder to squeeze and harder to disconnect versus the ones that use the you know, this type of plastic. Those easily slide out, and squeeze them, they disconnect easy. So this uses that clear plastic, so again, be careful, be very careful disconnecting this one. You don't want to break that clip because it's not going to lock properly. All right, so after you plug that in, you pretty much just want to kind of run the wires. I ran them along areas where I know don't get that hot. So obviously this is air, and there's other wires here, so it doesn't get hot. So I ran them from here along past the other sensor. I did one zip tie here. I'm not even going to cut it because I'll know that this wasn't factory when it's time to remove it when I sell it. Same thing here. I just put one right here. I didn't zip tie it to anything, just kept them together. And then I ran them along back here because it's not in the instructions on whatever car they're doing. There's a much neater spot for it to go, but again, on this car, it's not the same. So I ran it along the back, just ran it along there. Lift this up and kind of slide the wire back there, and then you keep it in here. So you can zip tie it. They give you zip ties and everything in the box. You can zip tie it. You know, I know no water really gets here, so that's why it's going here. I'm probably gonna zip tie it to like right here or something. And there's some information on the side right here. You're gonna wanna take a picture of that because you're gonna need that information to connect to the app. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish that up and then connect and see what settings we got and how much boost it makes and how much faster the car gets. All right, nice and secure. Not gonna cut these. Just gonna leave it like that. I want it nice and tight so it's not banging around or anything like that. That's that. Let's put this cover back on. So it's all put back together. And that's down there. All the wires hidden.